Hello everyone, welcome to the Vintage Contessa and Times Past. I'm the Vintage Contessa.
And I'm the Count of Monet. We're going to talk Louis Vuitton today.
We are here at our office in Houston, Texas, and everything we sell is authentic. We are living our authentic life, and we are going to teach you how to answer the question, how do we know it's real? So Rob, tell us how Louis Vuitton even got started. Did they start with a monogram, or what happened?
Louis Vuitton started his company in 1854. He didn't come out with his first steamer trunk till 1858, and it wasn't even the patterns we know now. It was a stripe pattern. It wasn't until 1888, about 30 years later, that he came out with the Damier. So Damier came first, before the monogram. Then later, they came out with the monogram, and then all the different varieties of the monogram.
And even back then, people were faking it. And that was the reason they even switched from the Damier to the monogram, because it was copied so much. And then they transitioned from the trunks into handbags. And ironically, they made their first handbag for Coco Chanel. It was so well received, people loved it, it was only for her, and then they launched it as the Alma bag. And here is an Alma bag right here. Why don't we start talking about how we know this Alma bag is authentic?
All right, well, I'm crazy about smell. So I always smell them, because we do a lot of work, or we used to do a lot of work in New York City, and you'd see the guys with the big blankets, and they'd come looking like Santa Claus, roll out the blanket, and they would have all these bags out there for sale, and you could buy Louis Vuitton bags for $50, $75, $100, and they guaranteed you and looked you right in the eye and said, these bags are real. I said, oh, okay. And sometimes it wasn't even spelled right. Louis Vuitton was like L-E-W-E-Y. It was crazy, but I smell it first. Then I take a look at it. I look at how it's stitched together. I look at the stitching. I look at how the zipper's put together. I look at all the panels. Then over the years, Louis Vuitton has changed their manufacturing. In the early days, the zippers were made by a company, YKK, which is the largest zipper company in the world. It's a Japanese, Yakazuma zippers, whatever, it's in Japanese. But since, I think the late 90s, they switched to their own zipper manufacturer. Their hardware changed, the way the brass was before to the silver, it's changed. It's just a process of being a detective, like anything in life. If they can sell a bag for $2,500 or $2,800 like this bag, someone's going to want to copy it. So they have just proprietary things. The date code on these bags is on the inside. On the Damier bags and monogram bags, it's much easier to see than a bag like this, because the inside of this bag is Alcantara. It's like the ceilings of Ferraris. It's super, super cool suede type material. But I'll show you on a Speedy bag. So on a Speedy bag, there's an inside pouch, and then right behind it here will be the date code. So this first two letters will say where it was manufactured: France, Spain, Italy, whatever country it is, and then that's the date code when it was manufactured. We've had before bags that have had the same date code in them, and that's fine, because they may make in the factory on any given day or month thousands of these bags. First time it popped up in our inventory, boom, this bag is already in inventory, how can it be a second one? But that's why. They don't have an individual unique serial number like other manufacturers, Chanel, Hermes, etc.
So we can look on here also the patina. We noticed that a lot of people that are coming in that are young buyers want to buy them with more of a patina. There was even a time back, maybe 10 years ago, that these great models and girls in New York were looking for them with the most patina, because it looked like it was worn and it was vintage, because vintage is cool.
It's cool. We had some clients from Greenwich, Connecticut, and they wanted their bag to look like they'd carried it for 20 years. And we call it honeying or patina, but the bags get wear on and it changes. The counterfeit bags, the leather doesn't patina like that. Lots of times it's plastic or a synthetic, and that's why it doesn't. So when I see that on the bags, to me, that's a real easy shirt. Boom, the lights don't go off that this could be counterfeit. When it comes in and it's bright white or that creamy yellow, really, really bright, that always scares me unless the bag is brand new, because just carrying them a few days, they can change that color.
And everything we have in our inventory we actually own. So we have personally vetted it, looked at it, gone through all of these details and making sure it's authentic. One of the things we also look for is, did Louis Vuitton actually make this style of a bag and make this color of a bag?
During that date code also, because the counterfeiters will sometimes throw in a date code and the bag will be like this bag will say, oh, it's a 2019, and well, they discontinued this bag in 2005. So it's all detective work. After a while, when you have 150 pieces of it in stock, my old adage, we've got a wall full of oranges and someone walks in with the grapefruit and it doesn't look right, it's usually, they're not making a special one-off. They don't do that. There are sometimes runway bags, but we very, very rarely see the runway bags.
And now with the internet, you can check so many of those things to know what year something was created, and we could go back and look. I did have a situation when we had just started buying bags on a grand scale. In 2011, we opened the Vintage Contessa, but we've been buying bags for 10 years before then. But I bought from a very good friend, and I took it to get it repaired at Louis Vuitton in the Galleria, and the woman there said it was fake. And I was completely in shock because I personally knew the woman that had sold it to us, and I had a very strong feeling that the bag was authentic. So I went back to my friend. She had bought it in the Galleria and not at Neiman. She got me the receipt, and we took it back to the salesperson and told them. So just know that a salesperson at Louis Vuitton is not educated enough to authenticate bags. They might sell bags, they might know the quality of the bag to sell it, but they don't know what we look for when we're buying a bag.
When you're putting your own money on the line, you learn a lot about handbags. I know more about handbags than I ever wanted to know, but if this is what we're gonna do, we need to be experts. We need to know it, enjoy it, love it, smell it, sleep it, drink it. That's how you can know what you're doing. Otherwise, we could be a sales associate there. Not that there's a problem being a sales associate at Louis Vuitton. We love Louis Vuitton, but that's what makes it work for us. Let's talk about the different styles of Damier, which is super cool. Why don't you grab those over? So this is the Damier Azur, the hottest selling for us. On the resale market, this holds its value better than any of the other colors. The only issue it is the zipper on the top. This part here always gets dirty, and they wear a little more so than the darker or the traditional, the Ebene or the graphite in the Damier. But Damier is the older pattern, but it's super, super hot right now. Monogram is great too, but I love the Azur. We can never keep it in stock. This is our number one.
And then another bag that we struggle with buying is the Vernice, because it actually accepts color transfer. So you can see on here that there's a little bit of discoloration, and unfortunately you cannot get this out of a bag. Once you get this discoloration on it, it's difficult to change.
Yeah, I don't know the translation of Vernice in French, but I think it means vacuum. You lay it up against a different bag and it just sucks that color out. I've even tried gasoline. I don't recommend that also. I've even put it on the polishing wheel in the jewelry back there to get it. We can't get it. It sucks it into the pores of the product. It's like a crazy patent leather. Super cool stuff. As long as you keep it alone and don't have it any near your other bags, it's a beautiful material. And pre-owned, when they have the little imperfections like that, if you carry it like this and you don't see it, you can buy a bag for half what one clean would be. It's an alternative for not spending a lot of money.
It is, and we can help you through that. I mean, we've learned the hard way what bags do, how they react. The older bags, definitely, there's some bags that there's a problem with the glue and inside the pocket. There's the pieces stick together and they might be a little peeling. That does not mean it's fake. That's actually an imperfection in the way they created it.
A manufacturing process problem.
Yes, and tell them about the glue situation on these Vernice
So I
bags.
wouldn't say it was my wife who did this one time, but we had a brand new Louis Vuitton bag, and the stitching around here is sealed with glue, and she's wearing this white outfit, and I look down and I go, what's all this black on your outfit? And I look and it's her bag. And then I looked and it was on the car seat. In Louis Vuitton's defense, they were so upfront and so wonderful. They paid for the dress, they gave her a new bag, they were wonderful. They made a mistake, they owned up to it. Because we were the original owners, she bought it at the store, had the receipt. They couldn't have been better people. to admit they made a mistake. They've changed the process of how they make that bag now. But when Danae was talking about the inside pocket, so it's this inside pocket here. It's not on Speedies. It's more on Almas and other bags, but the inside here would peel. This part in here would peel. The people bring the bag in, the rest of the bag is perfect, but it's the extreme temperatures. We live in Houston. You leave your bag in your trunk of your car in summer, it's 130, 140 degrees in your car, and it just broke down the chemicals in it, and it just, unfortunately, the rest of the bag was beautiful. You can get them at a huge discount, but if you put your hand in, it comes out black, sticky, like tarish. It's crazy what happened. Craziness of living in hot, beautiful Texas. Like we say, we have 9 months of summer and 3 months of hell, June, July, and August.
Louis Vuitton collaborated with a lot of great, unique designers on things. The piece we were showing you early, this is actually from the Marc Jacobs collection. He took the imprint that was originally made and then added this to the vernice. We also have these that are limited edition. This was one of the first bags that Louis Vuitton ever made. It's the Noe. It comes in so many different forms. And they actually, in the 1980s, collaborated with Moet and Chandon. And we have a Moet here. This was created to carry champagne. So it's a great nostalgia. There's so many reasons behind the things that they created. They are truly the
innovators.
And the way that they created this incredible fabric, or it's more of a canvas actually.
It's a waterproof canvas.
It even floats. Tell them
Yes.
about the floating bags.
So we were going out, a friend had a little boat, and Danae had her iPad in a bandolier, and I didn't have it on my shoulder, and I'm carrying it up on the little cart with all of our other stuff because we had enough luggage for 3 or 4 weeks, and we were there for 2 days. But that's just how it goes. And I look over and I go, uh-oh, da-ding, 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 boom, lands in the water. And it's floating, so I don't jump in the water, I reach across, I grab it, run over there, take a hose, wipe it off. I got the leather changed a little bit, but I didn't say anything. Made sure the computer and everything was good inside. It was an iPad, not a computer. But we were all good. The canvas was good. No harm, no foul. She comes back a couple days later. The bag looks a little different. I said, yeah, but everything's good inside. She goes, yeah. I said, good. Well, just don't worry about it. It was not a big deal. I couldn't tell her at the time because my ass is always in trouble. It's just part of being married. It's just, my fault.
So the best way to get out of trouble when you're married is to buy your wife or your husband a Louis Vuitton bag. They're classic, they're timeless, they last forever. It's been in style since I was a kid in the 80s. I always wanted one. I didn't get my first bag until I was in my 30s, but it's something that I still treasure. It was the duffel to me. We really recommend when people are coming in and looking for classic things to add to their wardrobe, that's a great thing that's timeless. It's graduation time. It's another good thing to give people. And it's a great gift to give someone, whether they're 20, 40, 60, 80. It transcends time. It transcends countries. It's something that's known.
And the bandolier, or bandolier as we call it, has a shoulder strap. Great duffel bag. When we used to fly in things called planes, they were great because you put it on top of your roller bag, you could bring it on, shove it up in the overhead, and then if a flight attendant's got a little bit of attitude, you can take it, squish it, and it fits underneath the seat if they're giving you some attitude. Because there's been a chance or two when my wife has been told, ma'am, your bag's too big. She goes, no, it isn't, you watch. And she can shove it underneath there, and no problem, she can get in and out.
Where there's a will, there's a way. We've done so many great collaborations with people throughout the years. One of my favorite was working with the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft. We coupled with each of their in-house artists, and they created these amazing pieces for us that were one of a kind. Louis Vuitton does have a patent on their monogram, so you are not able to take it and create it in multiples and push it out, but you can work with artists to create some interesting things. And we've seen people along the way that have done some really interesting things. But we are constantly out there collaborating. Please follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to continue to listen to all of our great YouTube messages. And stay tuned because we're having so many wonderful giveaways with so many collaborators out there. And let us hear from you. Tell us how you're wearing your pieces. Tell us what questions you have, and we'll incorporate it into our future goodies that we'll be offering.
Beautiful. Thanks. Y'all come see us.